And welcome back.
Welcome back
to FAB Chats. How do I start this?
Give a little introduction who Steph is, from what you know.
I don't like.
Do you know me?
Do
No, I'm
you
just
know the Muffin
How-
Man? The Muffin.
the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man. Welcome, Steph.
Thank you.
You're an amazing photographer that's here.
You're an amazing person.
Oh, thank you. That we work with often. We've gotten to know not only as a colleague but a friend.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Love you.
I
Thanks.
feel like I need to put this arm down.
We're here.
We're
There
here.
you go. Can I just say a thing?
Yeah.
I know I'm not being physically recorded, so I'm good talking.
You're
But
wonderful.
at least I think I'm not. But I
Secret cameras.
love, one of my favorite things about you being here as a photographer is how your vibe is so, like you bring a calm to this place that's so lovely.
I internalized the tornado for
Good
everyone.
job. Way to go. Way to take it for the team. But it's just such a, it's one of those, like, when we see that you're on the roster for the day, we're like, yes.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
We know it's gonna be
100%.
smooth.
I do the same thing. I'm like, I'm at Fairview today. Yes. It's great. It's great. It's just a giant party. Yeah. In the best way of good people's.
Well, there's nothing better than to have someone fun to do the thing with.
Internalize a tornado and have fun. That's going to be my new slogan.
But coordinate the chaos.
Coordinated chaos. Yes.
Internalized tornado.
It's like everyone's really screaming inside right now, and it's fine. But we're doing a
ducks.
great job.
We're ducks. That's my new favorite phrase.
What?
We're ducks
We're ducks.
that you paddle under the water, but on the surface,
Yes.
we're chill.
Everybody
Looking
we're ducks.
awesome and
We're
chilling, and
good.
all the kids are throwing you bread.
Get the thing done. We gotta go.
Do you just want to introduce yourself, like your
Sure.
name, your business, where
Yes.
you're from, stuff like that?
Yeah. How was your home life? No. Go into the depths of the belly. So I'm Steph Zimmerman. And I'm Steph Zimmerman Photography. So I've been in business for 10 years now. I know. I shot I've done almost 200 weddings or over 200 weddings. I kind of lost track, several. We've been a lot of them have been here, which has been awesome. But yeah, I had my 10-year anniversary of shooting weddings this summer, which was really fun.
Congratulations.
And it was awesome because at that one, it wasn't here, which is sad, but it was also a really great wedding. I had, I think, 8 of my past couples on that same night. And I realized the next day there was actually like the 10th anniversary of the first wedding that I shot. So that was really cool.
That's awesome.
But, so yeah, I have a studio in Colchester and I do family, seniors, weddings, business shots,
Mommy and
branding, mama and me's. Yes, love the babies. Newborns, I'm kind of everywhere. Do farm photography too. And it's because I love all the things and all the people. And I think like the best part of like not just like niching down to one thing is that I get to grow with people. So a lot of my current clients are couples that I did engagement sessions and then their weddings and then their newborn and then family and all the things. So that's the kind of the best part of the job is that I have all of those people that kind of tag along with me for the ride.
I
So
love that.
yeah, it's
Love
great.
that.
So we love being here. It's the best.
We love having you here. It's the best.
It's the best.
Do you have any pre-wedding rituals or routines that you do before a big wedding
Oh,
or any wedding?
any wedding, just any wedding. Try and get everything ready the night before, but I don't have anything like. If I'm by myself going to a wedding, I listen to music really loud, but I usually have my second shooter with me and we're just planning out the day.
You have to dial it
And
back. You have to dial
You
it
gotta
back.
dial it back. You have to have it at like a level where you can hear one another speaking. But no, I just basically go through all of my camera gear like it's the first time I've seen it and reorganize everything and charge everything because I know everything's in there. We know it's all in its home, but I just go through everything and make sure it's there and clean but it's no like fun rituals of like
You don't do a rain dance?
I don't do a rain dance or anything. No.
Do you format your cards so that you could physically, if you had to, you could physically pull your camera out and start taking photos immediately without
Most
even
of the
question?
time I have everything like set up to where all I have to do is put my lens on my camera and we get to it.
Yeah, I have some friends that like don't even put SD cards in there, And I'm like, that just takes extra time. You just get them ready so you can just pop them on the tripod or whatever.
Yes. And that makes me like a little panicky too, because even though I've been doing weddings for 10 years now, I still get very nervous before weddings because you never know. Like, I know my couples because I've been helping them plan their wedding and done sessions with them and stuff, but you never know. You have a good idea of how the day is going to go, but you always, not always, but sometimes you got like that left fielder person that's like,
I
here,
think
we're
that-
coming at you today.
I think that's something to think about is if you're nervous before a wedding, I think that's a good thing. I think when you're not nervous, I mean, maybe that's a good thing, but it also could mean like maybe it's time you step away, like you
Yeah.
take a break from weddings because it's a live event. You don't want to miss something.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So-
agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably a good thing that you're nervous. I get nervous too. I don't sleep the night before usually very well.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband gets on me. He's like, why are you still up working? Because I'm like, I'm very nervous about tomorrow and I'm making sure that I have everything done. Because I always put cards in the night before because I have that panic of like, did we remember all of the cards? And if they're in there, I know we have cards. So there's that. And yeah, just make sure everything's good to go. But I think having like a lot of nerves before wedding, like that's gone down. But I still have some nerves going in because if you don't, I feel like you're probably too burnt out to continue for a little bit.
Yeah.
To be like, if you aren't nervous, and I'm not saying you don't care if you're not nervous. I hope you still care. But I feel like there's like a level of like, it's such an important day and there's so much pressure and
Making sure you get all the things.
make
and
sure you
doing
get
it
all
right.
the things
Yep.
and everyone's happy and you play like I'm going to be the mediator and the guidance and the therapist and the person who, well, not here. I don't have to sew things here. If I'm not here, I end up sewing dresses and
seamstress.
fixing buttons and fixing hair and makeup, and I don't have to do that here. Because you guys do it all because you're amazing. I don't even bring my shit kit. Sorry, can I swear on this? I don't want to. Like, I have no shit kit. I have like this toolbox that I bring, and I very rarely bring it when I'm here because you guys have a shit kit.
We've got a no shit toolbox now at this point.
Yes.
I know it's giant pink, and
It's
I
grown.
yeah, it's huge. It's a
It's grown over the
huge,
years.
and that
Yes.
it doesn't even fit in it anymore. Now we have a shelf above it.
Yep.
I mean, we just added to it. We
You
have
need a
extra
rolling
men's
trunk.
socks just in case, extra dress socks,
Yeah.
in various colors.
I don't go to that depth. I have like sewing kits, super glue, hangers. I don't have umbrellas.
Well,
Your
I
mini
don't bring
fan.
umbrellas.
Once
What- my
someone-
mini fans, I love.
Those
I
are
make so
awesome.
many friends with my mini fans.
I'd like to steal your minifan.
I can
gets
get you.
hot.
I'll get you one for your birthday.
We have one here somewhere.
Okay.
I think it's in the shit kit.
Have you met
I
the
just never
mini
think about it.
fans? They look like pagers, and then people
just
can like
whoosh.
clip them on.
Oh, that's genius.
Air down the brides.
And I have my fanny pack, and like I have like 4 of them on, and it looks like I look like I'm about to go to war or something because I have all these like plastic things on in my giant fanny pack. But I make a lot of friends. I make a lot of friends with my fans. It's just that's how I meet people. It's like, are you hot? Would you like to use my mini fan for a while?
See, that
It's the only
I've
way
ended
I
up
know
under
how to
too
make
many
friends.
dresses with
Wait,
the minifan.
say that again.
I've been under too many dresses with the minifan
Yes,
because that's where it needs it the most. And I'm like,
It
listen,
is.
I'm here for you.
I feel like we need to start a new business of like, how can we support couples on wedding days without actually being there? And it'd be like, here's your ankle fan,
Here's your garter fan.
your garter fan. Yeah.
I mean, how many times at the sweetheart table, there's a fan under the
Mhm.
bride's
Yep.
dress,
yes.
like just because it's
Yeah.
so much that
so much
they
going
can,
on
like,
there.
on full outdoor summer wedding days, like we'll bring like the DeWalt battery powered fans if there is
Genius.
no reprieve inside, and be like, here, huddle, but not too close because it's too hot for that.
Yeah, don't touch.
Don't touch. Just be near the fan.
Just be loving.
Yeah. I mean, the couples can be close, but like
Yeah.
I'm thinking bridal party. Feel like don't sweat on one another.
No.
Keep the makeup in place. Yeah. So yeah. That was a fun intro.
That was a great ritual you have there.
That's my selling point. Be like, I'm Steph, and I'll bring you minifans and fanny packs. I know
Yeah.
how to sew dresses, and I calm the tornadoes.
I
Those are
am.
my highlights.
What are some trends you've noticed lately?
Oh,
in-
trends.
in the wedding photography and weddings in general.
People are cutting out sunset photos, and it's like,
Are they?
yes.
That breaks my heart.
Just, I kind of want to retire. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to. No, I've had couples who are like, oh, yeah, it's a beautiful sun. And they're like, no. I'm just like, but please. Yes.
5 minutes.
They're never going away. I know. But I think on wedding days, I feel like with the new generation of couples that are coming up, they are somewhat simplifying. Have you noticed that?
I would agree. I would
Like
definitely
we're
agree.
just kicking stuff out and we're here to be
Party
together. And I'm here
and
for
enjoy.
it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. But don't take out my sunset photos. If it's there. I mean, you can. And people are liking more harsh light photos, which like in wedding days, you're outside at 1 p.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever. Like you're outside in it and you get the photos. But that's another one. They want to get rid of sunset photos. Not everyone. I have a lot of couples that are here for it, and I'm here with them. And we embrace all of the beauty of the golden hour. But yeah, I've had some couples that have cut them out this year. Or if they had them scheduled and they're just like, nah. I'm like, have you looked outside? And then I cry a little, and then I continue doing my job like a professional.
So,
But I don't like it.
it's when you just take a really nice photo of them and then Photoshop them behind that beautiful
Right.
sunset. Be like, listen, see?
Be like, I'm going to go outside and take some photos of the sunset. I'll put on a tripod and a timer, and it'll just be me out there. But we got them. No, I won't do that. I won't abandon my people. But yeah, that's one thing. And I think just people are simplifying a little bit. Like
I would agree.
we've had
For sure.
smaller bridal parties or no
Yep.
bridal parties.
Yep.
And I still have my big bridal parties. They're fun. They're fun. As long as everyone's mostly sober, they're fun. Otherwise, it's like herding cats.
That's what I've noticed. Is
Yeah.
with the larger bridal parties, I've got one group, and then all of a sudden I see 3 cats going away. I'm like, come back. You're not done.
Come back. I had such a large bridal party this year. There was a groomsman missing, and no one noticed. And we had to redo everything. Because I counted, but they had an odd number. And so in my head, I'm like, paired everybody up. And
And it
no
was
one
wrong.
no one else noticed. It wasn't just me.
Oh. Well,
It was okay.
Where was he? Where'd he go?
No one really knows. They're like, where were you? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, bud, bring it in, sober up for 10 minutes. And we redid it all. And it was fine.
oh,
It was hilarious. It makes for a good story now.
yeah.
No one was irritated. They're just like, come on. So I think that's kind of his MO, like in life. I don't
Just
know him as
a runner.
just a, maybe, I don't know.
He's a runner. He's a trick
But yeah, so we still have our big bridal parties. We still have our fun people. But then I have people that are just, they don't have anybody standing up with them. They only have like a maid of honor and best man. And like cutting out a lot of the traditional stuff at receptions, which I'm here for it. Like we can, shoe game can be fun, but also, meh, you know.
Yep.
That's got no, dollar dance is on a sharp decline.
I don't know the last time I've seen a dollar dance.
Dollar dance.
Dollar dash I see,
We do have some dollar dashes.
which I love that.
Every once in a while we have a dollar or a dance auction, but you have to have the right audience. You have to have your farm people who do auctions.
Haven't seen that one.
And
That sounds fun.
It's pretty crazy. They'll auction off garters and they'll go for like $4,000.
yeah,
What?
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah.
yeah.
Holy Hannah.
I've only had one flop, and I asked them, I'm like, are you sure your people understand auctions? And they're like, totally. And I'm like, only 3 people know what was going on in the room, I think.
Oh.
So, but otherwise, they can be super entertaining if you have the right vibe of people. Yeah, I think people are just kind of cutting out stuff from the reception, which is fine because they're like, we want to get in there. Like, I'll have couples not even announce the bridal party or them. They'll just be like, welcome to the reception. Some people are cutting out cake cutting, which, you know, that's fun, but it doesn't have to be there.
Yep.
I'm like, feed your people and party. That's kind of what they're at. They just want to be with their people, which I think is great.
In the moment. Yeah.
In the moment. Yeah. Because I feel like when you have so many things going on, and I think that's what people are hearing is like, oh, we did this and this and this and this and this. And they're like, oh, that's a lot. And I feel like you kind of lose yourself in the checklist versus
Mhm.
being there to be there and celebrate and be like, we got married. It's freaking awesome. You know? So
Cake cutting is such an interesting. Like it's hung on for so long.
yeah.
I'm surprised that it's still
Yeah.
couples are still doing it.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's such
people-
a small moment of the day. It's like
Yeah.
minutes and it's gone.
Yeah.
I've seen more of like, they still do the cake cutting, but it's less of a production.
Mm-hmm.
It's, hey, grab the photographer, grab the videographer. We're just going to do it quietly, save the cake, and be done. Move
Yeah.
on.
Yep. I've had a lot of couples that are like, yeah, everybody's eating. We'll just go cut the cake so
Yep.
it can be served. Or a lot of people are just doing dessert tables and say, like, enjoy yourselves. Or they'll cut it right away as they come in while people are sitting down.
Yep.
And yeah. So I think that's interesting that those are being pulled away and nothing's like rotating in. Other, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But
I think just being
I'm
present,
here for it.
rotating in.
Yeah,
Which
it's
I'm
like,
with.
we're okay. Like, feed your people, celebrate, and it's good. And keep your sunset photos.
And keep your sunset photos. Is that I was
Full
about to ask
circle.
if there like is there a new like favorite staged photo that's like your ish right now?
Staged photo?
Or just, photo prompt
Oh,
for your people.
it really depends on the couple. Like, how I pose people and how I direct people really just feeds off of who they are and how they interact. Because I have some couples that I'm like, I don't tell them hardly anything because they are just
So cute.
very adorable and lovey-dovey and just move around and talk a lot and make each other laugh. And I have the other couples that are not always comfortable being the center of attention or in front of the camera, and I'll guide them more. So it's really based off like of who they are and their
Mhm.
personality. And so I don't really have I have certain poses that I are my go-to to like help them be together.
Right.
But the rest of it is just kind of feeding off of them as a couple. So
I think that's so important.
Yeah.
Because not everyone wants the same
No.
prom pose.
no, like go in
Here,
front
this.
of him and put
Go
your
ahead and touch his
hands-
face.
Yes, gentle, just gentle. I mean, sometimes awkward prom poses get brought out just for the fun of it, but that's usually between groomsmen.
I was about to say, I think the only
So-
time I've seen a prom pose is between two groomsmen.
Yes.
Or seven. I've seen that as well.
Yes, yeah, we've had that from time to time.
Listen,
Just
that's-
depends on your group, and how sober they are.
That-
No, you guys do a good job of maintaining
for a while.
for the most part.
Through the important things.
Through the important things. No, I mean
We
like
maintain
through-
their
Yeah, until the reception, and then it's
a free for
free
all.
for all. Be like, you're responsible for yourself. So
Hopefully.
hopefully, I don't know. We've lost some people before.
That-
I've literally had a groomsman lost. They're like, oh, he walked home. I'm like, as long as
And
he's
home is where?
I think it was like a 4-mile walk or something. They finally figured out, like, people went out, not the bridal party, but like a friend went and looked for him, and he just, it's like, yeah, I was tired. I don't know.
Go on my bed.
That was an interesting
me.
day. Lovely couple though. So
This one's interesting. What makes this venue stand out to you?
the people. No, I'm serious. I mean, it's a beautiful space, but you can have a beautiful space anywhere. But it's like the culture and the community you guys have built here. And that's what so many people are attracted to, because like I've been, I don't know, to like 30 some venues all over. And there are venues I go to that I have no idea who like is in charge of the day. Like, I'll try and introduce myself. I'm like, oh, I'm just a bartender. I'm like, your job's still important. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, we rarely meet the owners, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't even know who the owner is 99% of the time. And I know you're not here like always, but you still make yourself known and the couples know you. And
I like working something every wedding if
Yeah.
I can. The only
Yeah.
time I think the only time I don't work a wedding
It's like you're out of state.
if we're out of state.
Yeah.
If I'm over there, FOMO hits and I am over here.
Yeah.
Unless she's telling me, go home.
Keep your booty at home. And
Yes.
that's because she's overworked.
I really think that is part of the most important part of this venue, is just like how you guys embrace and love on your couples and support them. And you're like, you fix everything. Nothing goes wrong. Or if it goes wrong, it's fixed within 30 seconds. Unless someone's drunk, that takes some more water and time. But-
little liquid IV here. And that's
I know. I'm like, but you're prepared, and that's the
That-
thing. And so I just think when you come into this space, it is gorgeous. But there are a lot of gorgeous venues out there. Like, not in Biggsville, This is the home. But I think when people book here, not only are they choosing this space, but I think they're choosing above all, like, you guys and the support that you offer and all of the amenities and everything that you guys offer. So like, there's good venues, and then you guys are above and beyond like what I have seen. I mean, you have experienced this as well here. Like, it's just like, I'm forcing words in your mouth. Sorry. But you're like, you agree with me right
You
now,
agree
right?
with me, Ben.
Absolutely.
Do you agree?
They're paying me to say all of this. I'm being paid right now. No. No.
Book the barn.
Book the barn. It's gonna be great. We should just like whisper everything now.
It gives me the-
the whispering is just like,
It
"No,
just gives me
please
the
don't do
thing
it."
that like I want to crawl out of my own skin. It's great for other people.
It's
Love
fine,
that. I
it's
will
fine.
never yuck anyone's yum, but like
You're doing great.
You'll never yuck anyone's yum.
yeah.
That's hilarious. I need to remember that in life.
Isn't it a great one?
Write it down.
It's not
is
mine. I
good.
stole it from a podcast, but
I
have I'm not
love
implementing
it.
I've heard it before, and you're doing great.
did you?
So,
You
what?
heard that?
Yuck, anyone's young?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thought I was creative. I'm just kidding.
You just said you
I
stole
know.
it
I
from
know.
a
I was gonna
podcast.
try and steal. I was gonna try and steal the
It's
credit.
fine. But, so yeah. Where do we circle back to? Oh yeah, your venue. It's amazing. Everyone should be here. It's beautiful. You've created a cohesive, welcoming space, and it's lovely because you have a beautiful getting ready space for like inside and outside. Couples can get both, like everyone can get ready here, and that's also a rare little gem. And you guys just care sometimes too much in a good way.
What?
So
I know. Sometimes I feel like I'm bothering people because I'm just like up here hanging out with the girls. I'm like, what are we doing? How are we feeling?
it's like,
anyone need
how is
anything?
your heart today?
That-
How are your emotions? Does the air smell good enough for you?
Yeah. We need to get everything off our chest.
Did you hear about our chicken? We have a new chicken.
Okay, a
We
real
have a rubber
chicken.
chicken.
So it's a fake chicken.
Someone had an idea of a wedding bell,
Morgan.
and
more.
So the start off, I'm gonna have Cass
Nope,
tell
go
it.
ahead,
No.
because-
So the start was we find that the bridesmaids they come down on the bride's behalf and they're asking for things that already exist up in this space that we haven't disseminated properly or not everyone heard. Scissors are here, this is here, that's there. Because there's so many things just hidden all around. Not hidden, but not necessarily obvious.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know to look. Anyway, so they'll come down and ask for things that I bring them back up, and I feel badly about that. So Morgan and I were talking, and she said, "Oh, we should have a bell. If they could just ring a little bell." And we like, "Oh, can we help you?" Like from downstairs.
It's adorable.
And so then I tell Cass to do this idea, and she says,
we're not bell people. I'm not a bell person.
You need that as
I'm not.
a
I'm
shirt.
not I don't think I will come to a bell. Squeaky chicken. Now you're talking. So great. Found no. Chicken.
It's amazing. Oh, it's like a romantic chicken.
We wanted a bride, but those don't exist. So it's a love chicken.
I can sew a little veil for you.
Thanks.
and a little bouquet.
Little bouquet.
But then they can just stand at the top and go,
I think you need it mounted to like you need a little mounting plate so
"Oh,
they can
right
come
there."
out like
That's gonna be great audio for you. You're welcome.
that's your new podcast intro sound.
welcome back.
Welcome
What if
to
we did
Fab
like,
Facts.
what if we did this? It was like this. We just did like this. And we go like that.
And welcome back.
This
And you're like,
is
welcome
to
back
Fab Chats.
this is like Sesame Street kind of goodness.
Oh.
Like you're just like hello, welcome. Like you have to have like the intro from the
Oh.
chicken.
Here's your chicken.
Thanks.
But
That's-
that was all Cass's idea, and then I went on the hunt for the
That
right.
is, I hope
the
that's
right
your
bird of choice.
like crowning moment, highest
This
achievement,
is the
proudest
achievement
moment.
of my wedding planning
Now
career.
I just want to be here for welcoming committee when someone uses it.
Okay, can you share a memorable moment of a wedding that you photographed?
You did great.
Here.
Ooh,
What's a unique one? What's a fun one? What's a memorable
a
one?
fun one.
Go and get out that Rolodex.
And I'll be like, like there was one couple that was just so deeply in love, the Balzers. And they just like were teary at everything with the most joy. And that was one of my favorite, they were some of my favorite people.
That
I don't know. I just remember their first look. And it was just very like, I was crying.
stabbed you in the feels.
Right here, right in this very space. You want to reenact
I
it?
like
I'm
doing
just
the
like-
first
Yes.
look up here. I like doing the first look up here.
Yeah.
Is it your face? So that's a good
Yeah.
question.
Where?
Best first look spots.
Ooh. So like yeah, you can go, the world is your oyster here. That's what I tell people because you can go wherever you want. Like we can do it in the office and it's still pretty. As far as like first look spots, this is a great spot if they want it to be just the two of them
Mhm.
because you can kick people out in a great way.
And there's
'cause-
nowhere for people to hide. and
Yes.
Still watch.
Yeah. Because if we do first looks out front, like it's really sweet because you have all the bridesmaids up here looking in the window and they're like, oh, you know, or
Mhm.
downstairs looking through the windows. I've done first looks up there. Oh, and we've up in the front and we've kicked people out in front of the crib.
Have you ever done? I've seen them done by the down on the bridge.
Mm-hmm. I've
I
done
have
a
you
lot
two
down
ever
the
done-
I have
bridge.
not done a first look down there.
It's a little
It's
bit of
beautiful.
a trickier
Yes.
logistics. I normally
Yeah.
take the groom down and like I would take the photographer down,
Yeah.
leave them, peace out,
Yes.
turn back around, come get the bride,
Yes.
and then set up.
yeah.
But I also kind of like that because it gives photographers the opportunity to just get him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, I enjoy that time too.
That-
Because I think sometimes it's like, we're going to get some photos,
mhm.
but I'm going to be quiet and you're going to be at peace and enjoy this moment.
Yep.
But
You're
I
not
think
there.
like I like the more private locations for first looks for a couple. And some people just genuinely don't care or they want everybody to be there to celebrate with them. But there's others and I'm like, this is really just about the only time where it's the two of you and then photographer, videographer, and we can even like peace out
Right.
after a while. And so that's why I kind of like this space up here, just because you can control the crowd a little bit more
Mhm.
in the lighting
And
and the lighting. But yeah,
second shooters.
yeah,
Is it a necessity? Is it just fun? More candidates.
More
That's where my
candids.
brain goes, but I don't know.
yeah,
anything.
definitely more candids. It is great for timeline if you want a shorter timeline for the day, because then we can divvy up for getting ready. You can get more variety of photos, like the background photos and that
Mhm.
kind of thing. But I've shot weddings without second shooters, and I just bounce back and forth, especially here because your bin and this getting ready space are a 45-second walk apart. But when I have venues where there's just a bridal suite and then there's offsite getting ready and that kind of thing, the logistics are a little bit more complicated. I mean, it's not doable, of course.
Mhm. Right.
It just takes time. And so I think having a second shooter is really great, especially like from my standpoint, like just to have the support there, like,
Mhm.
oh, we need this light moved here, or battery run, or can you get the bride and groom some water? Which again, don't have to worry about that here because you guys are on it. And so I don't think it's necessarily a must have. I think it is a great addition to the day in the role of additional candidates, different angles. We can move a little bit faster on photos, and it's just another person there to like help with everything for everyone too. But again, you don't have to have that. So
Yeah.
I think like 95% of my weddings, I have a second shooter. So
It's always fun to have more people around too.
it is, yeah.
More people to party.
More people to hype you up. Fun fact, my husband shot every wedding with me up until like 3 years ago.
That's so cute.
Just about every wedding. It was adorable. People hired us because
You guys were a couple.
Steven's adorable. Yeah.
Did you ever want to kill him though? You're
No.
Like, okay, this is a lot of togetherness.
No,
Oh,
he's
you're such
great.
a good wife.
We're fun.
I do not
Yeah.
doubt that in the slightest.
What?
I think
that he's
that,
fun.
that he's fun, that you're fun, that's great.
He's
That was a
fun.
good partnership.
He's such an introvert though, so it pushed him to his limits a lot. He's very introverted and not a people-y person. But he pulled it off. He did everything well
That's awesome.
and internalized a lot
Did
of
you train
screaming
him?
sometimes. Kind of. I mean, I taught him a lot, but actually our best friend, he is a photographer and kind of like he's happy. But he taught Steven. I don't know if Steven more just took his camera and like just clicked the shutter 1,000 times just for fun. But he taught him some things first, and then I kind of taught him the rest, and it was fun. But then the kids got older, his life got crazier, and
Life
he
happens.
quit on me like a quitter. You know, no,
Fired.
fired. I still love him to death, though.
Quitter.
Oh, he knows. No, I tell him all the time, like, you're a quitter. You quit on me.
That was the same with my wife actually too. It just wasn't her passion, so
No.
I wasn't gonna make her do it.
Yeah.
I don't
The thing
blame her.
is,
So
he's
fun.
good. That's the annoying thing, is that he's
Oh.
just good.
Yeah,
Like
that's
he'll go
tough.
like 3 months. He would go 3 months without shooting and pick it up and be like, "Why? It's unfair." He's good. That's the problem. So it's not a
He's
problem. It was
too
a
good.
great. He was very good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
What's the most rewarding part about being a photographer? I need it in loud voice.
need it in loud voice. We're gonna ask in 2 ways.
One
It's a
question,
great
2 ways.
question. There's a lot of things. I really like, as far as the relational aspect of it, I love it when meet a couple and we do their engagement session and then their wedding. And then they bring their babies to me and their kids to me. And we just keep going, which is awesome. That's been one of my favorite parts, just the relational aspect of it. And just like celebrating with people. Because when people choose you to be your wedding, like to be the wedding photographer, you're like, there are millions. It feels like it sometimes. There's a lot. And then when people actually choose you, it's kind of just a big hug. Or when people like refer you, bigger hug.
Bigger hug.
Bigger hug. So yeah. I love the people. I love the people that have found me. And it's been fun. It's been a wild ride.
I can't imagine anyone in our industry takes this for granted. The fact that someone chooses you is like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Like every time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
yeah. Every time I'll go tell Steven, it's like you got an A+ on your test kind of thing. He's like, Mom,
They want me.
Mom, I got an A+. I know. I'm like, they booked me. He's like, I don't know who you're talking about, but that's great. Like, I know. I talk to people about, I'm like, well, you know. And he's like, I have no idea who you're talking about, but I'm here for you.
So I feel like I'll go home and talk to my husband about like this couple and they did this and then they chose this. He goes, which one was that? And I'm like, that's fair.
You know?
But you know, the one that I talked to last Tuesday and then they called me this. No? Okay. Great. I know.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's fun.
Can you share any logistical challenges you've encountered at venues and how you overcame that?
How we overcame this. I feel like this is a job interview. Oh, no. I haven't interviewed for a job in many years. So as far as logistics here, everything's very simple because everyone can get ready here and they can stay the night here if they want. And I think the only thing you have to plan around here is if you need the van to go get guests or if we're going to use the van to go do photos. But as far as other spaces, if you have to get ready off site or that kind of thing, I feel like when I talk to couples and they have this idea of timing in their heads, they don't think about adding, like, you need 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the walking distance, just to get everybody in a vehicle.
Right.
Which it sounds silly to be like, no, it takes 3 minutes to get there, but give a 15-minute window to get everybody out in cars, drive out of car into building. Sometimes longer because
bathroom breaks and that's not the other thing.
Yes.
Yep. People don't account for.
Yes.
The minutiae of it all.
Yeah. And just coordinating moving things with the people. Like people have forgotten the rings before.
Yep.
That's always a fun one. No one's ever stressed out when that happens. But just as far as like the movement between places, that's one thing that I kind of help in guiding couples with because you think about it, but you don't think about like the actual detail of it. Not everyone does.
Right.
And that's what you hire your vendors to help you with. But like at venues specifically, here is easy. Like that's the short of it. It's just everything's taken care of and it's fine. But if you like want to swap between a ceremony space to a cocktail hour or swap from ceremony to reception, like all the behind the scenes things. If you have a lot of behind the scenes things going on, we're so close. Hiring a coordinator to get it all done because not all venues have coordinators.
Right.
Some venues, you bring your own bartenders.
Blows my mind.
What?
Said blows my mind. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to wedding. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen it, but
And
I'm
it
just like,
works.
Oh my God.
It's just extra stress and to do and coordination that you may not want to have to worry about. And some people are so chill and laid back and like, oh yeah, we got that handled. And that's fine. And it works. And I've seen it work very well a lot of places. But if you don't want to worry about it, find a space such as the barn at Fairview Acres.
The barn at Fairview Acres.
That takes care of everything for you, including your socks.
And free hugs.
And free
You
hugs.
gotta stop with the hugs thing.
Yeah.
I think sometimes logistically, there's some venues that are really pretty, but they just don't have any places for good photos.
Oh,
Whether
yes.
that's like no shade.
Yes.
Like if you've ever shot at Ashton Hill and Cedar Rapids,
I've not been up that far.
they don't have any like big trees or anything, and
Yeah.
there's
Just
nothing
direct sunlight
around.
everywhere.
Everywhere else
Yeah.
is just there's one spot in the back of the venue, but there's still no shade for the middle of the day. The only time it's really good back there is during sunset.
Gotcha.
But there's just a lot of those venues.
Yeah. So like from the photo aspect of things, yeah, there's a ton of venues that you have to leave location unless you like harsh direct light photos, which those can be beautiful. But when if you have a couple and 10 bridal party people to get everyone to like burn their retinas while looking into the sun so they don't blink. You have to leave site. And that can be a logistics aspect of it, because do you get transportation? Do you have everyone drive? If everyone is driving, who has been drinking since 9 a.m.? How does that coordinate, and that kind of thing? And so that's some things that people don't think of is just the moving of the people when you have to go off site for photos and that kind of thing. And yeah, we've done that a lot too.
An adventurer.
Hmm?
You're an adventurer.
An adventure.
Add
Like,
on.
let's go down the street
Let's
to
go. I see shade.
shade. Yeah. Well, it's mainly because like I think harsh light photos can be beautiful. Not
Mhm.
everyone likes them. And some people have very sensitive eyes and their eyes are just closed in all of the photos. And another thing too is if it rains and they're like, oh, they have this space, like you guys have sidewalks here that you can make it the space work even if it's wet outside. And like I had at a wedding earlier this year that there was a sidewalk and I was off in the grass standing in 4 inches of water. I took my shoes off to like go out so they didn't have to be in water. And because they didn't want to leave site for photos, which I don't blame them either, because it was a really nice space, but it's like you have 10 feet to work with here for photos. And so I think whenever I talk with couples, if there's a site where we need to have a plan B and even a plan C, like we have our plan A timeline, plan B timeline, plan C timeline sometimes, depending on the venue, ceremony, reception venue kind of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of things to think through when planning. It's not like you're just showing up and be like,
Clicking a camera.
we're here.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Let's talk timelines, Steph.
Let's talk timelines.
Let's talk.
So you beautiful coordinator, planner extraordinaires here, help your couples make timelines.
Absolutely do.
That is
my favorite thing.
extraordinary.
Yeah, Cassie, you can give your advice as well. I mean, from what you know.
And well, that's like
Sorry.
one thing that I love about like working with you guys so much is that we know how one another works, which is cool. But like I said earlier, with vendors, other venues, like they're not coordinators or they don't have one on site to help plan the day. They don't hire outside coordinators. So when I meet couples and they're like, yep, we're booking, we make a timeline, and at least the photo timeline from when I arrive to a little bit prior to after. And because there's a lot of little tidbits in there that
They don't think about.
they don't think about. Yeah. And so one thing that's great about here is you guys make them too. So oftentimes I'll just be like, here, have the timeline. This is where we've started, because we work very similarly on planning that. But you guys plan a lot of the before and after for
We
them.
try and plan from the moment they get here till the moment they leave.
Yes.
And I always like to leave that gap of like, okay, I know hair and makeup will need X amount of time for how many people they're bringing. And then I like, it's easier sometimes working with like you, because I'm like, okay, I know Steph needs about this much time for family photos, but are we doing extended family photos?
Right. Yeah.
Immediate family. Two different worlds we're playing with.
15 minutes versus 45 minutes is a very different.
First look or no first look.
Yeah.
Again, that'll affect cocktail hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your best advice you give couples when they start their timeline? Like
I
ceremony time.
start with
pick
like, what's your ideal ceremony time?
And now, what advice do you have for your input? Like, where do you think is the best time for a ceremony?
It depends on the time of the year and if they have an outdoor or indoor ceremony. So it varies so much and where they are, what they want, if they're going to have a first look or not. Because I've had ceremonies like 5 o'clock. You're like, oh, that sounds great. But if it's after time change and you're at the end of November, you are at dusk. Because we did a beautiful dusk wedding here.
We did.
2 years
Like
ago? 3 years ago?
5 o'clock.
Was
Or
that
it was
the-
like 7 o'clock.
Was that
Under
the
the
one
bistros?
under the
Under
bistro
the
light?
bistros.
Oh,
And it started
Yeah.
to snow.
Yes.
It was
It was
so
gorgeous.
perfect. Yeah, it was awesome.
Lindsay
Yeah.
had the rings.
It was late.
Yes. It
I
was
remember,
late. It
and
was
I remember
cold.
running out
It
with
was
blankets on my arms.
magnificent.
Yep.
And
Yes.
seeing all these hands.
So it's really like the whole timeline of the day. It just depends on like how you want the day to feel. Like, do you want to be together as much as possible? And part of it is like I go from how they want the day to feel to then suggesting a time for the ceremony if they don't know. Because some couples come in like, we really want a 4 o'clock ceremony. It's going to be about 30 minutes and a 6 o'clock reception. I'm like, great. You want a first look or not? And they're like, nope, we're going to do everything before, then family in between. And they kind of have a good plan for the day. Other times I will ask them every question and I'll start with like, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions right now. And if you don't have an answer, that is fine. And it's cool. It's just something to talk about because it can be overwhelming to decide every aspect of the day very quickly.
Yeah.
And so I think it's great to get those anchor points of the ceremony and then first look or not. But some people say, like, you tell me what's a good time and I'll just roll with it.
I have that a lot too. Of just
I'm
like,
here
well,
for
what do you
it.
think?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
This is what I think. You tell me yes or no. Because some people don't want to decide. And some people
That's
are
also
very
very true.
decisive.
Yep.
And I like it. I'm here
just-
for it either way, basically. Worked with a lot of couples where I've done the entire timeline and like, yes.
and they're just like, great.
we're here and we're going to arrive when you tell us to.
Definitely think
And-
without a first look, they need to be
Yeah.
a smidge on the earlier side.
Yes.
Not talking noon 1, 2, but a nice
Yeah.
brief.
I had a
3:30.
couple day of was supposed to have a first look and then they decided not to do a first look. And we were there and we were set and we worked very quickly and we made
that
it work.
time crunch is
It scared me,
a lot.
but we made it work
There's just a lot
because you got to
fit in.
be an adaptable
Absolutely.
little person and be up for anything.
It's a lot to fit in after a ceremony.
Oh, it was quick.
Boom, boom, boom.
It was quick.
Yeah.
And so yeah. And I talk about like extended family photos. Like it's beautiful to have those things. And it's important because everybody is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also it can be stressful having extended family photos because you lose Uncle Bob a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had couples even here that they're like, we want to do all the extended family photos and I'll go through. I'm like, this is probably 45 minutes worth of photos. And we got maybe halfway done. And she's like, I'm out. They've done, no one's listening. I'm like, let's go
They
elsewhere.
run off. They go take it.
Let's go.
That's what I
Yeah.
love, having the photographer shot list.
I
Not
love a
that
good
you-
shot list.
I
Yes.
love when a bride has I want me and Uncle Jimmy and
Yep.
Aunt Mary. And then after that, I want to add in the groom.
Mhm.
And then they're just like, 'cause
Yeah.
I love to stand there with that list and just scream names. And the photographer just
Yes. Yep.
does their thing. I'll make
Yeah.
the line. Let's go.
Yep. I ask all my couples to do that. Whether they get it done or not, that's another thing. But I'm like,
Mhm.
start with your biggest, hardest group first, and then we'll get them out.
Yep.
Or kids. Kids are wonderful, but sometimes you just work around what they need. But yeah, it's a hard part of the day. I understand the value of it because, it's my job. And I love photos. I love photos of family. But also sometimes when people are like, oh yeah, we're going to have like 80 people in extended family photos. I'm like, let's do that another time, or do one big group photo. I love the reception photos. Well, especially here, like I'll go stand up on the stairs. Everybody's together. You got a picture with everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know like not everybody's going to be necessarily like in focus in the very back, but you can still make out who they are.
You
and it's
know
good.
everyone was there.
Everyone was there. But I've had a lot of brides get a little, I shouldn't say a lot, but yeah, there's a lot that I can think of right now that at the end of extended family photos, they get a little like we probably shouldn't have done that.
Definitely
But
causes
again-
some frustration, I feel like,
Yeah.
by
and
the end of it.
And I have some families and I'm like, you people are amazing and organized and I'm done faster than I think I should be, or not should be, but like think I will be because they get it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like a 3% of the group. So yeah, I value the photos, but I also balance is it worth it to potentially take some of the joy from the moment? Because like you literally just got married. You walked down
And
the
now we're
aisle.
in here organizing
Uh-huh.
200 people.
Yeah. Yeah. So immediate family photos, grandparents, yes. All the aunts and uncles, cousins. If it's like 20 people, it can be done pretty efficiently. But I've done the 80, like where there's like 50 people in a photo. Those take them.
Bless
It
you.
takes me 10 seconds to take the photo, but it takes 10 minutes to get everybody organized. And if you're doing 5 of those,
Groups. Yep.
One of my favorite photos on site, I don't know who took it, but it was just they had everyone get up from the tables and get to the back, like south wall. And it was just a big
Yeah.
group photo with the bride and groom in the middle sitting in chairs.
Yep.
Loved it. Like
Yeah.
that is like,
yeah.
let's
Genius.
do that every day.
Yeah.
Like that's fun.
Yeah. Or I've done extended family photos on the stairs, like after dinner during the reception, like the DJ just called everybody up. And I've done that before, like the couple stays in the middle and everybody just surrounds them. And I think it's fun to do it during the reception too. It can take away, but it depends on the couple too. If they're like, we want to be on the dance floor, but like this is important too. And there's other couples like once that music starts,
Do not talk to me.
And I respect that too. Prepping everything beforehand makes the day a lot easier.
Even
And you
if we don't
guys do a
stick to
great
it.
job of that. Oh, timelines never go to plan. Like maybe
It's nice to have a rough
Yeah.
guideline.
Well, yeah, and that's what I tell couples when we make it, that I'm like, these are the goalposts. Like, we're gonna try and hit all of these, but if we're 10 minutes past, like, there's flex in all of these where I can take 3 minutes from this section and 5 minutes from this
Mhm.
section. But if we don't have to do that, you get more photos and it's fine. So I like to have like 3-minute little sections in there that if we need to steal it from somewhere else, it doesn't matter, you know. But
Couples never need to know either.
But
I
then
tell 'em,
there's the
like,
couple
don't look at
that
your watch.
the
Don't look at
bride
your
that's
phone.
like, where are we
time
at
is
on the
it?
timeline? I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
You beautiful sea creature.
Yeah.
Mermaid. I don't know.
Good. Sea turtle.
Sea
don't
turtle. I mean that like not like you haggard creature. I mean, I tried to Leslie Nope it and I just butchered it. Yeah. Beautiful land mermaid.
I didn't.
Oh, sorry. Beautiful bride. Don't worry about the timeline. Let everybody else do
Let
it.
me do it.
Yeah.
It's my job.
Yeah.
So any
And we're done.
any final tips or anything? I mean, advice for couples?
Mm.
Sorry.
Plan the day the way you want it, please and thank you.
Communicate with your people.
Yes,
Communicate
communication.
with your vendors, your coordinator.
Communication is key
Communication is key.
to a smooth day
Yes.
and changes. Yeah, I think just good communication. Make sure you plan the day that you want and not
Mhm.
what
Amen.
anybody else wants, because we've had weddings where we plan it around what
Grandma wants.
grandma wants or whatever else, and then brides are not as happy as they should be, or grooms or whatever. But
It's the
yeah.
other thing. Not all the teeny tiny little bits end up mattering.
no
But
one's gonna
being-
know
No one's gonna notice
unless your
about
food
one
doesn't show
thing.
up.
Yeah,
Then
that would
they
be.
know.
That would be.
But we can get pizza really fast.
Amen. And no one doesn't love pizza.
Yes,
But
so,
the little, because a fork is moved over to the right too far, or something falls through the cracks, no one's gonna know.
Mm-mm.
You won't remember, or it'll become a funny memory.
Yeah.
Being in the moment, loving on your
Yeah.
people, loving on your new spouse.
Yes.
Most important thing.
Yeah. I think like just being
Being
focused, being here.
Here.
Yeah. Because it's easy to get wrapped up in what's not quite right or what
Mhm.
went wrong or whatever. It is.
Strict timelines
Yes.
to the
yeah.
minute. Yeah.
Just enjoy it. It's chaos, but it's beautiful.
Beautiful
It
chaos.
is. Yeah, it's beautiful chaos in the best way.
Just trying to think of a word to go. Tornado.
Tornadic.
To-
Circular motions in the
So
wind.
I was gonna say tormented tornado, and that's not great.
No. So,
Beautiful
yeah.
chaos.
Beautiful chaos. Yeah. That's kind of my life theme. Just beautiful chaos. But yeah, I think just being in the moment, planning the day that you want, communicating.
Doing the damn thing.
Just do it. You're married.
Just do it.
And it's amazing.
I like that. All right, you want to send it off?
This has been. This has been Cassidy with
reports.
FAB Chats. Signing off. What did you want? Thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming back. This was Steph.
Thanks for
I am
being-
Cassidy. Catch you sometime.